Welcome to a Time Capsule show where we explore life in the 21st century through the eyes of people just like you and me. I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Joenrhuz.
Today we have dancer, choreographer, and dance instructor David Machicado. Welcome, David. We're so happy to have you.
Welcome.
Hi, Vanessa. Hello. Hi, guys. How you doing? I'm happy that you guys are having me today, so thank you for that.
Of course. So what you guys don't know is that David happens to be my personal dance instructor. I've been working with him for about three years, and he has helped me a lot so far. So, David, can you tell us a bit more about what you do and what inspired to pick your current profession?
Yes, of course. Well, just like you mentioned, I am a dancer, dance instructor, and choreographer. I've been doing this for over now. What year is it? Lost track with the pandemic. 2021. So over 12 years at this point, I think. 12 years, yes. And what basically I do, I started more like a dancer, of course. Like I believe every every person that is in my industry starts just dancing, like taking classes, like trying to get better and reach that goal. And then you kind of like find your own path, right? You want to keep being a performer or dance instructor, a choreographer, an artistic director. Like there's a lot of different things that you can be doing. My ways is being like, I actually had to try all of those little things, and it's being a lot of fun because I explore all of those different phases. And right now, basically, I'm just focusing on training, on teaching, and sharing mostly. I don't know what's gonna be next. I still love performing, so every once in a while, when I get the chance to perform, I go ahead and do it. But so far, with just the kind of life that I have, it's a little more settled. I like to just have my students and me and sharing that love for dancing, and how I encounter myself with this profession. It's a funny story because I never thought of actually becoming a professional dancer in my life. Like you can ask my family, like they will never thought that I was gonna be something like that because in a society like I'm originally from Peru, right? So in a country like that, when I was young, nobody will take seriously dancing, right? So it will take it like a hobby, like okay, you like to dance, and what else? What else do you do? What else are you gonna do? Like, is that gonna pay your bills and whatnot? And like, I guess not. That's the kind of like chip that they put you in your head, and yeah, that's how I grew. So I knew I loved dancing since I was a kid. Like my mom keeps telling me like, oh my God, you love to dance, like even since you were like 3, 4, 5. See all these, shows on TV and whatnot, and kind of like you were following choreographies and like, yeah, doing like little shows for my family and whatever. But never took it seriously. So at some point in my life when I was in college, I was about maybe 20, no, 19, 18, 19. And I was so overwhelmed with college. I kind of like, I was tired. I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it, but I wasn't feeling, that passion for what I think you should feel for your career. So I was like, there's something missing. So I talked to a friend, and this friend of mine told me like, if you're so stressed, you should find something to do, on your spare time, something that actually like might relax you, just for you, do it for you. Like, okay. And she asked me like, what do you like to do? And I'm like, I mean, I like dancing, but is that weird? So I was like, no, I mean, go ahead. I actually know a place and whatnot. So I came actually to this place. I did my research. I went, and the moment that I stepped into this dance studio, it was like a new world for me. It was like, whoa, there is actually other people like me. I felt that, and I was like, oh, this is my place. So I started like that, just like a regular dance student. I wasn't looking to become a professional dancer or anything. I was just looking, to have fun and do some something to relax. But it just, it just started to happen. Like the rest is history, I guess.
Wow. So you have been dancing all your life. So you did mention that you were watching dancing on TV shows and stuff. So who were your like influences growing up?
Growing up, influences. Okay, so it's probably gonna sound a little silly, okay, but there's a lot of when I was a kid, there were a lot of TV shows, with for kids, kind of like those with games and whatnot, and they do their own little choreographies with the cast or whatever. And I literally used to learn those choreographies for myself, and I used to put those shows. I learned my choreography, and then I kind of like recreated that show for my family on family reunions or whatnot. It was kind of silly, but then it was my dance instructors also in the school. Every recital that we had, I don't know, for Mother's Day or like or for Christmas shows or whatever, like I was all the time there. Like I wanted to do it, and it was like, who wants to do it? If the teacher, will ask, it's like me all the time. Like, okay. So, and then but that was when I was a kid. So, I mean, they did inspire me because I learned a lot from them. I kind of like, I believe that I started learning about musicality and how to use my body, but in a very, very baby way. I didn't even know what was happening. And then I gotta say, just like a lot of people that I know, when they start to hit on TV, artists like Britney Spears, like NSYNC, like Backstreet Boys, like Michael Jackson, like all these people that are like, super well known because of their amazing choreographies back in the 90s. They inspired me even more. And I was like, damn, I want to do that. I want to dance like that. But yeah, I will say basically TV. TV, yes.
So on the same topic, Joenrhuz asked, do you have on the top of your mind, do you have any like favorite TV shows that inspired you as well?
TV shows.
Like dance TV dance
Right,
shows?
right.
Yeah.
That was more like maybe when I was, more in the industry, more like developing this profession. Yeah, I obviously pay attention to more, professional dance shows like Dancing with the Stars, like America Got Talent, and shows like that, or what is it? Dance Moms, like it was very, yeah, inspirational because I was, especially Dance Mom, I was just impressed by the little kids because they're tiny and they're so young and they're like, oh, if I would have started that young, maybe I would have been like, get way farther. But it's okay. It's my way. It's my path. It's my life. So, but I was just like very inspired by those little girls. I mean, they were amazing. And I was like so jealous that I couldn't be them.
Definitely. But on Dance Moms, isn't there a lot of drama too with the moms?
Oh yeah. I never. I mean, I like the drama because it's a reality show. Okay, so it's like two ways to see it. One is for entertaining, and the other way is like, okay, when the competition actually, started and you saw all the performances, I was like, okay, paying attention to the actual performances. So it was fun and more fun.
But yeah, I totally agree. Those kids were really, really fierce.
Oh yeah, yeah. And now they also, if you actually do your research, all of these little girls, they created their own path. They're not on the shows anymore because they're not girls anymore. But one is an actress, another one is like is a crazy creator, like artistic director. Another one is like all media, like blowing up
Wow.
in every single class that she goes. Like if you get her in a class, she's gonna blow up your media. Like literally everybody's gonna see that video. So yeah, every single one of them, they're amazing. So that's how I guess, that's how you start with a bunch of people kind of like in the same group, and then you just go your own way. You decide what to do with it.
That's true. Wasn't Jojo Siwa on there too, or am I making that up?
No, no, no. You're right.
Oh yeah, yep, you're
Wow,
right,
big
completely
things.
right. Yep.
S- So dancing clearly has been so influential on your life, and I would say that you're a very creative person because of that. But let's say you're pursuing a different path in your life. Let's say it wasn't had nothing to do with dancing. What would you be doing with your life and why?
Um, I actually thought about that a lot of times, because I get the question a lot, since there's still some people that actually believe that you cannot make a living out of dancing, right? Um, so I get that question a lot, and I'm thinking like, well, maybe I will be doing. At first, when I was in college, I was studying communications, so I was doing audiovisuals too, all right, which I thought it was my first passion. Then I realized it really wasn't. I liked it, but I didn't love it. You know, I still do it. I still do some editing sometimes and whatnot. So I like it. But now I don't. I know you just said maybe not related at all to dance, and I want to say that it's not related. It's kind of similar though. It's still an artistic though, uh, kind of like area. I think I would love to act because yeah. So I guess I'm sorry. I guess you cannot take the the artist side of me. It's there. It's there. Yeah. I actually was thinking about taking some classes and whatnot at some point, but then I was like, am I too old? Maybe not. Maybe I can lie and say like I'm 25. Everybody keeps telling me like that I look younger anyway.
Yeah,
So
you can pass for 25, maybe even for 18-year-old. You could play a college student, to be honest.
why not take advantage of that? Change the numbers on my ID or whatever. But yeah, it will be one of those things maybe. Something related also with media and stuff. Like it's funny, I see my sister, my brother-in-law, they're like office people, and I see them and they're all day long in a desk on a computer, and I'm like, I don't know how you guys do that. I couldn't. I have to move. I have to be active. I cannot stay on a desk the whole day. So definitely not something like that. Yeah, that I'll say.
Were you involved in the arts before you started taking off your dance career?
Mm, I don't think so. No, I mean just like little, performances, like like school things, like I told you, but nothing really serious. Um, I think it started when I started taking it more seriously. I remember my first gig as a dancer was like I was still a student, and they wanted to do a flash mob for this mall center that they did with the what's the name of the song from The Sound of Music? Don't dear.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah,
The
yeah,
All right.
classic.
All right. So they did this, and listen, that was the first time in my life that I felt this is what I want to do for a living, because you are doing what you love and you get paid. I mean, okay, I have nothing else to do. No, this is it. I'm not leaving this. So yeah, maybe that little gig that I had at first, it kind of like confirmed what I wanted to do.
For sure. And so you said you would have wanted to go into acting if you weren't a dancer. And it seems like you've been entertaining your whole life, but you were on Broadway at some point in your career, right?
True, true. I was yeah, I did some musicals. I did like 3 or 4 musicals in the past. Um which actually involves some acting. Yes, you gotta say, because you're not dancing the whole time. When you're like not on choreography, they tell you like, oh, you gotta be like this guy in the background. You gotta go pass by, and you're gonna like interact with the. So they don't exactly tell you you have a line or whatnot. I actually yeah, I actually had a few lines on one of them on the of the musical. So I actually had to take some direction from the director, and that helped me a lot because it was very interesting. I always thought it was just like dancing, but with words, and it's a completely different world. It is similar on at some parts, but and others is like completely different. And it was a good experience, and that's why. And when I saw all the other actors, and like and playing together and composing this whole thing, I was like, that looks like a lot of fun too. That looks like very interesting too, and just to get into another character's shoes and bring it to life, it was always so interesting. Like, um, no, I'm just gonna leave it there because then I'm gonna start sounding crazy. But yeah, I was in some shows like that, and I learned a lot from it. So yeah, definitely, it took some, I guess, some acting skills, and I would love to explore more on that area.
So, is there any particular moment or one of your favorite moments being a part of those musicals?
I don't think there is just it's just the whole experience. It's just the whole experience. I was funny thing, I don't know if you guys know, In the Heights, the movie is it just came out last night or today, right? And I'm a freak about this musical. I love this musical, not only because I was part of it in Peru when I was there, but also because of the story behind. I'm a Latino. I live in the States now, so I know a little people that actually has that reality, you know. So I kind of like felt the relationship with the movie and the message and the story. So um and I was kept watching like documentaries and a lot of videos and interviews and whatnot. And I kept digging and digging and digging on the life of that. And it reminded me of how the life was when you were like on a stage for a season. And and it's just a great experience because of the little family that you make, not only with the cast, you make you create a really good bond with the musicians, the director, the assistants, the people who brings the food, all the technicians, the staff from the theater, it's just like a bunch of people that get together to bring this up, all right, to create this whole thing that people uh can have for like an hour or 2 hours of a show. They don't see obviously that, right? They only see the people that is on stage. But just meeting and seeing these people for maybe 4 6 months or 8 months, sometimes every single day, all right, like every single day for about 5 6 hours, it it's just a lot of fun, and that I think that I it's probably one of the things that I miss the most, just the relationship, the connection that you make with this group of people. So yeah, that's why I couldn't mention just one moment. It's just the whole experience. It's really satisfying, and it's like, wow, we all did this, guys, it's beautiful. I gotta say, yeah, that's probably the thing that I miss the most about that.
Oh, it's like a family, right?
It is. It is because like literally you're watching these people every single day. You fight, sometimes you laugh, you cry. Believe me, you wouldn't believe all the drama that sometimes happens, but all the happy moments, like, yeah, because you're sharing a lot of time with these people. So, things are gonna happen. But at the end we're all in this together. So yeah. It's
There's a saying that I always hear and I follow. It's that we call it. There's a village. There's a village. There's a village. There's always a village to make something beautiful. Like,
yeah, yeah.
sorry, it takes a bit. It takes a village to make something beautiful. It's like supporting.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I don't think that everything comes easy.
Right.
Right? I mean, to get to that point, again, you're gonna cry, you're gonna laugh, and it's like a family. I mean, are you always like, in a good term with your family? Like, no, right? You sometimes you want to kill each other, but then like you love them. So yeah, it's the same thing.
So we're now at the segment of the show where we like to call past, present, and future, where we'll be exploring three different periods of your life. So how do you see yourself now, and how does it compare to the person you were 5 years ago?
As a person, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, 5 years ago, when was that? 2016, basically. Ooh. Well, definitely way more um, mature. Definitely. In the past 5 years, I moved away from my country. I got married. Um, I lived on my own. You know, completely. In a different country. I had to struggle with nobody knowing me. And kind of like build that name again. So, and also, yeah, I gotta say, guys, the marriage life, it changes your life too. So it's it was a lot of changes in the past 5 years. I think in the last maybe couple it's been more kind of like settled, but definitely growth, a lot of growth. I see myself like a more adult person. Before I was just a kid still, even though I was like on my late 20s. I was a kid. I was surrounded by kids all the time. All dancers mostly are, like early 20s or like late, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, So that was my circle of friends and I used to be with them all the time. So that was the spirit that I had. And it was a lot of fun. And the way you see life when you're that age is completely different. You don't have many responsibilities. You have this like um you just want to have fun, you know so so that changed and it made me grow, and definitely more like a serious person. Now I actually have to think twice about making a decision. I just don't go crazy and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So it's like a chip they put you in your brain, like, oh, hold on, think about it. All right. And I didn't used to do that. And before I was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna do it. But yeah, I will say that.
And how do you think things will be for you in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, funny question. I don't know. I don't know because things always change. I mean, I can tell you one thing, but who is gonna guarantee that that's gonna be the way it is? I mean, the whole time, I can picture myself, okay, directing this video clip for this huge artist. Okay, that could be my goal. Um, but I like to kind of like set up goals, maybe, you know, and try to reach them and do my best to reach those goals. But I don't like to picture it because I learned that there's a lot of factors in life that can change everything. Obviously, you always have to kind of like try to figure it out and play with those factors and try to make the best of it. But that situation might change. It could get a little worse, it could get way better. You will never know. So I maybe I don't like to think so much of ahead of a future. Maybe just like, short kind of like term little goals. I don't want to go that far ahead because I'm gonna jinx it.
So you also like to think of the present, not the future.
Right. I mean, again, like I know I like to have goals. I like
That's
to
true.
have ideas of what I want to do, but I don't want to say like, oh, this is the year that I'm gonna have this and that and this, because again, and I hate to keep bringing this up, but pandemic, like it stopped so many things for so many people. You don't know what's gonna happen. So I just like to know or to tell myself, hey, I want to do this at some point. I want to do this, and I'm gonna try to make it happen. But I don't want to say like, oh, this is gonna happen in this year, because if it doesn't happen, it's just gonna bring you down somehow, and
Right.
you don't want to feel like that.
That's so true. And when you have those expectations sometimes, and you're right, things always do change and you can't be so solid with those goals that you have sometimes.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Expectations that's the perfect word to describe this. Yeah, not expectations. Yeah,
Live in the moment and just take the most advantage of the opportunities you have in front of you.
exactly,
Right?
exactly. And yeah, yeah. It's like, for example, right now I'm thinking about opening my dance studio soon. But I keep asking like when? I don't know when. You know, I have that in mind. I have that in like that's one of my projects. You know, I want to say soon. You know, my own little place and my own little business finally after all these years. But I don't want to say, hey, you know, it's gonna be in July 2022 because I don't know if that's gonna be doable. So I just want to move slowly and be sure what I'm doing, and when it happens, it's gonna happen. So that's the way I work. I know a lot of people actually like to more be more planned and be more like, you know,
Right.
me, I like to take it easy and be like and feel, you know, secure what I'm doing. So
I love that. And I think you actually kind of answered our next question, but feel free to add more. But what principles do you live your life by?
principles, eh, what are principles? No, first of all, I think honesty is it's probably one of the biggest principles that I live by. Not honesty just like to other people, but to yourself. You know, if I think that if you're not honest to yourself or what you love, what you like your morals, you know, and everything, and you're just trying to fit, you know, whatever, like, oh, you know, to get there, I have to be like that, even though I don't like it. I'm not like that. Okay, I disagree a lot with people. People disagree a lot with me because you know the way I think, or and I think it's fair. You know, you don't have to be um, you don't have to agree with everybody all the time. You don't have to like everybody all the time. You don't have to be liked by everybody all the time. You know, so and with you know regards on the profession also like you gotta know what do you want to give. I always think that in every single profession there is something that you have to give to others. It doesn't matter what kind of profession is, you know, and you gotta be honest to that, and you gotta know what you want to give. Like, are you just giving it because I don't know because of the money, because you love to do it, because of I don't know what other reasons, but whatever it is, believe it and stay that way. You know, the other thing is probably respect. Respect, because a lot of people forget about that all the time. And that actually has, you know, it goes by the hand with honesty. Like I was just mentioning, you might disagree a lot with a lot of people, but you cannot attack just because they don't think the same way that you do. I mean, they you don't know why they think like that. You know why you don't know why you think this way. It's part of your life. It's part of your background, part of your history. It's also part of their history, right? So you have to respect those decisions. You have to respect those thoughts, because everybody's different. I can still be friends with a lot of people that are completely different than me, and we can still fight a lot because of disagreements and whatever. But at the end, hey, you know what? I respect you, and you respect me too, and we're good. You know. So I think those two will be like the biggest that I try to go by.
That's awesome. And that's such a mature way to think. I feel like today in society, people don't talk to each other just because they don't agree with someone. I think that we can agree to disagree, right?
Exactly, exactly, and you see it a lot. For example, and this is a subject that I never like to touch. Okay, but I'm just gonna mention it. It's for example, politics. You know, divides the society so many times. in my country, for example, in Peru, there is a huge thing happening right now. It divided the whole country. Before, with in politics here, when I don't know, Republicans and Democrats and what everything was happening before elections, divided the whole country too, and it's like uh it's just attacking each other all the time instead of kind of like opening that door for respect and okay, I respect your ideas, now you listen to mine, and let's see where can we meet together and make something better. So that I think that is something that there is missing in society nowadays.
So, as we spoke about your achievements as a dancer, like being involved in the and on Broadway and in Peru, your job as a dancer, and your family, what are you grateful for in life?
First of all, the support. The support is being amazing since I started. Because even though when I started, and I did tell you that nobody would believe that you could actually make a career out of dancing in my country, especially when I was young. Now actually it's more of an option. They see it more openly, but when I was doing it, it wasn't. Things have changed in the last 10 years, like insanely. Um, but I heard a lot of people that were trying, students of mine, coming to me like, my parents don't let me do this. My parents don't want me to do this. My parents like they don't want to pay for my class. I love to do this and I want to do it, but like people literally like students coming over me or texting me and crying and be like, I don't know what to do. I miss dancing and but my parents don't. And like, you'll find your way. I tried to give him like the best advice that I could because of my experience. um but I'm really grateful that I didn't have to go through that, because even though my parents, for example, they kind of like had their doubts, they really wanted me to follow a college university profession. When I started dancing, they never said no. They were like, okay, let's see how that goes, but you're still gonna finish your profession, which was communication. So I gave him both. I gave him like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing my thing and I'm gonna finish my career. That's why I got my degree and everything, but then I just completely stick to dance. But they were never like, no, 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 no. They actually were pretty open, and I think they changed their mind, or they opened even more when they saw what I was doing. When they saw me on stage more, when they saw that I was, um, you know, going up the steps, the stairs, and climbing up the mountain. And I was like, okay, he's actually growing. He's now teaching. He's now directing. He's now choreographing. He's now performing. Oh, okay. Now he's traveling to teaching other countries. Um, they saw that, and I think results uh, speak more than just words. You know, so that's when they actually believed it, and they were like, okay, you did your thing and it seems like it's working out for you. So I'm not gonna say anything to you. I'm just proud of you. And yeah, my whole family was very, very, very supportive. And of course, the support of all the people that were surrounding me and that I got to meet in in this past like 12 years. Students, other like colleagues, other instructors, people that I work with. Um, Everybody has been very supportive. I got a lot of help, and but that doesn't come for free. I had to be very serious and I had to be very professional all the time to kind of like earn that, because I do believe also like things are not gonna come easy, and never. you know you actually have to earn everything. So that's why even when I was just starting, I tried to be as serious as professional as I could, so they can see me seriously, or they could take me seriously, and that's why I got that support. But it's I'm just like, yeah, it's just the support in general. Yeah.
What would your advice be to people out there who want to pursue a creative field but they don't have that same support?
The advice that I could give, there's always gonna be a way. For example, let me give you one thing. When and this is just part of my story. When I came, the first time that I came to New York, uh, I really wanted to take these classes because I really wanted to get better. So I came, and I didn't tell my parents that I was coming here to dance. I told them just that I was coming for, to visit and just like do some tourism and whatnot. But in my head, I had the plan of actually staying longer. And a trip that they thought it was going to be 2 weeks, it turned out into 6 months. So back then, and my mom, obviously, she was not going to give me, the money to stay here 6 months. So I had to make my own way, and I had to find a job, and I made friends, and I mean, my mom, what was she gonna do? She was not gonna come here and get me back to to Peru. So, so I told her, I mean, I'm already here. I'll be back. I promise. But I gotta do this. She wasn't happy at first, but then she had to accept it somehow. And like that's just an example. It doesn't mean like it's gonna be like that all the time. But you can always find a way to, like, for example, if you don't find the support on your family, you might find it on somebody else, maybe on a friend, or somebody else in your family, or maybe on a teacher in your school that you might talk to, and the resources. There is also always a way. There is a lot of scholarships, like you can talk to people. I believe that talking is like it's magic. You're never gonna know what you can get until you actually go there and talk to somebody. Because if you're just gonna wait and see what's when is it gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. You gotta make it happen. So if you really want it, there are ways, and you might be surprised. You can talk, maybe like it's scary. It's scary just to talk to somebody that you probably don't even know, but that maybe that person could give you that little hint, that little push. But you gotta take your risks and go, and what's the worst can happen? That person says no to you. Okay, but at least I tried it. But what if they say yes? You'll be leaving with a lot. So yeah, my advice, it would be take risks. Take risks, and always, don't stay, with your arms crossed and just waiting on a chair to things to happen. You gotta move, and if you want it, you gotta find your way to do it.
I love that. That's great. So David, now we're part of the we're up to the part of the question on the show where we actually get our title from, Time Capsule. So if you were to leave something in a time capsule for people to dig up 100 years later, what would you put in there and why?
Okay. 100 years. I'm not gonna open it, right? Because I'm not gonna be.
Yeah, we'd assume so. Yeah.
I mean, I wish that I was still alive, but I was probably like very okay. In 100 years, maybe it will be all my dance videos in one, I don't know, SD card or a little memory, stick or whatever. Since I started till now, or yeah, till now, all my dance videos, like from rehearsals, from like just choreographing, from performances, from teaching, class footage, I don't know, all those things, because that, I think, says more of me than anything else. And if I want to show me, or who I was to somebody in the future, it will be my art and the process that it took. So that's why I'm not ashamed of how I looked when I was dancing, like literally 12 years ago. Because like, believe me, if you see my 12 years ago video, you'll be like, oh yeah, it's not that good. But it's a process. You grow, So yeah, it would probably be that, and so they can see the whole process and what I did.
So you mentioned you lived in Peru. Is there something that you missed from back home that you can't do here?
Yes, definitely. And that's my friends and my family. That's the people that I miss the most. I get to meet a lot of people here, and but it's difficult to make that really close relationship with everybody because they're all, especially in your 30s, everybody have their own circles. You can make one to couple of really close friends, but everybody they have their whole life already put up together. um and it's understand, and in a city like New York, where everything is like so quick and rushed, like everybody's going everywhere all the time. um I always talk about this with my sister. She also left the country a few years ago, and it's the same situation. And with every single person that actually had to leave their country for any reason, at certain age, they have the same kind of like, we agree on that. It's very difficult to kind of like find that, and it's probably just missing your friends, because that's your family. Like, I don't know, guys, if it happens to you, that you build that strong or stronger relationship with your friends from college and your 20s. All right, that's basically like your friends for life. Okay, and I actually had those friends, especially when I was growing as a dancer. I used to spend basically every day with this group of friends, every day for over like 10, no, like 9, 8 years, so had to leave and be like, okay, and now to see them all together still all the time. But me, I'm far away. It's like, yeah, I miss them. And of course, your family. So it will be the people, everything else is adjustable, you know, but the people is not.
Oh, that's so great to hear. I mean, how is Machu Picchu in Peru? I've always wanted to go there.
Okay.
Is it overrated?
You're gonna hate me because you're
Oh
gonna hate me
no.
because I've never been there.
David.
No way.
I
Really?
know. It's funny because it's like a lot of people actually, okay, so Peruvians, they don't really go to these places unless you have a specific reasons to go. Like you have, somebody visiting and like, okay, let's go because I'm gonna take you. So you get to visit. But I had actually a few chances to go there, and for some reason always ended up, the whole plan just like failing, and I never went. My husband also like keeps telling me like, why did you never took me there? Because when you went there, I was working, so I couldn't take some time to go there. And I know, I mean, guilty here. I have to go. Uh, a lot of friends have been there, but I can tell you that, uh, and not because they tell me this, because it's a fact. Every single person that's been there is being like just amazed by the beauty of that. So, and in general, I visited a lot of other places in Peru, and just the history and what you can see, the beauty of of the places and the constructions, and especially the architecture, the Incas and all this. If I was amazed just by those little ones that are not considered, as big as Machu Picchu, I just can't wait to be there and actually see it, with my own eyes. So yeah, but listen, if you're planning to go, let me know. And we can go together.
Maybe.
I've been,
How
I've
about
been,
that?
I've been there once. I have family back in Peru, but that was like years ago.
So you don't remember?
I was very little. Like the only thing I remember was like a sundial they created. That's it.
You know what they say? They say that, the classic photo that you have of Machu Picchu with the big mountain, right? So it's funny because they always tell me that you have to walk a long way to get to that point.
Yeah.
All right. And to get to that point where you have all that amazing view, it's crazy. And that's the most magical moment, because apparently after the long walk, you literally walk for 10 more steps, and the whole thing opens up,
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
and you see all that, and that is like mind blowing. You know, you're like, whoa! In just like 2 seconds, the whole panorama you see is like, whoa. So that's what I heard. I can't wait to see that. I'm planning to do it on my next trip to Peru. Obviously, since pandemic,
Yeah.
I I couldn't get back. But yeah, now that things are getting better, maybe like this year or next year I'll be getting there. And if you haven't gone there yet, I'll let you know next time. I promise.
Let us know how it goes.
Definitely.
Yep.
So, David, is there anything else you would like to add or tell our viewers? Where can our viewers find you on social media?
On social media, what I use the most is actually Instagram. So yeah, please guys, if you want to find me and you want to find my work and what I do and everything that I'm doing in the city, if you want to join me and you want to, dance with me and join this beautiful world of dance, you can find me at DAV as David Machicado, on Instagram, and on Facebook. You can find me also as David Machicado. Super easy. Although I share the same stuff on both. So, but yeah, I don't use YouTube as much as I used to before. I'm really bad with media. I'm really lazy with that. So yeah, but Instagram basically, yes, you can find me there. So check me out.
I also saw on social media that you do programs. Can you elaborate? Can you elaborate more on that?
Yes, I started doing my own programs last year when everything started to opening a little bit in the city. So I started with a reggaeton program. I had one reggaeton program. Then I started a street jazz slash hip hop choreographic program, that I live in Manhattan, and I'm just starting literally tomorrow my new heels program. So I'm having 3 programs running right now, starting this month, and they're all my babies. They're all my babies. I've been teaching in different studios for a while, for a lot of time, but I never had my own little program, and I love to actually do what I want to do and do the way I wanted to do it, with my students. So yeah, and who knows, maybe something new will come up later on, especially when I open my studio. So also stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's that basically what I do in my programs is just like push them, as I like to push my students like the way I was pushed when I was starting. I think that's the best way to get the best of you. Never take the easy path, you know, and share and have a good time, and safe place. Like it's a safe space, it's just for you to be yourself, and mess it up, it's okay, make mistakes, it's okay, but always try to give your best. That's what I always keep telling to my students, and that's the only way to get better.
Like I really agree with that because being your student,
It's
and
not
be
easy.
I didn't say that, but I agree. The constant motivation helped me out a lot, and I wouldn't be where I am without your help. So I really, really appreciate that. Um,
Thank you.
but
I love that. I love that. No, because you know what? It's crazy, and I just, since you also asked me if I wanted to add something, and it's regard one of the reasons why I love my career. Maybe the reason that I love the most is because it's not only because of dance, because a lot of people that actually get to my class, or to any dance class, they might not be looking to be a professional. They just want to do it for who knows what reason. But it's just the results that you can get from that, and it can be like countless. A lot of to a lot of people help with confidence. To a lot of people help, to struggle. To a lot of people help for with stress. To a lot of people help different ways. So it's like therapy at some point. I always find it like that. And sometimes therapy is not always easy. How many times when you go to a psychiatrist or are psychologists. They make you cry. I mean, they do. I mean, I've never been, but I heard that yeah, they make you feel really bad. But at the end, there is something that you want to achieve with you, you know. Or so that's the same thing. Dance at the end, it the process is important, but also the result that you're gonna get from it. Uh, it's amazing. Like I heard so many stories from a lot of different people. You know, help me with this, help me with that, help me with this other thing. You know, thank you so much. I didn't do it. It was dance that did it.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that I love dance.
Okay, David. Thank you so much for being a part of our time capsule. Thank you to our viewers for watching, and please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tune in again next week to meet another amazing addition to our time capsule. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you guys.